Chess is more than a game. It's strategy, it's intelligence, it's friendship. Welcome to my world. Welcome to my channel. The game has just begun.
Hi chess friends, today I'm here to show you some interesting and useful problems of the book of Bernd Rosen, and this is a book of a lot of endgame. I suggest you, it's a really good book to study endgame. And here we have this first position. You are white and you have to find the only way to draw this position. Take your time to think. You have two pass pawn, G and H pawn, but there is a problem. The black king controls G4 and H4, and you can push nothing because black king can take everything. And black has the C7 pawn that is so far, this C7 pawn, from the white king. So here, to resolve this problem, to draw the position, you have to know the rules of the square. I show you the last time in another video about this book. You can check it. However, here I show you the solution. For example, you could try to play h3 to support your g4 and push your pawn until g8, but this is a terrible mistake, because here follows simply c5, and c5 is a winning move, because it's not important if white can play g4, because after king g5 there is no way for white to push this pawn. So you can play something like this, but black continues to push, and there is nothing that white can do here. So h3 is not a solution. You could try to play g7, but g7 is a bad move, because here black can push his pawn, because if you use the rule of the square here, you have to count how many square left from becoming to a queen. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is a square, and white can't enter in the square in time. So king f6, but now c4. King e5, but now c3. King like e4. Can you see? Black here promotes. So this is a problem. White can't enter in the square. So how can white draw this position? You have to play this wonderful g4. And this is so beautiful, because if here black capture, now white has a possibility to play king g6, and now it's different, because it's completely different, because white can enter in the square. If black here push g7, pushes c7, c5, you can enter in the square, because you can simply push h4, and now it's winning. It's a draw, sorry, because here black has to capture. If you continue to push, white can push. And it's a draw, completely draw position, okay? So if here black capture, you can play king f5, and now it's a draw, because you enter in the square, okay? This pawn is capture. So the idea is push g4 to come here on g6, and now you can use the rule of the square. And there is no way to black to win this position, for black to win this position after h4, because if you don't take you have to take h4. So after this, the rules of the square, you can count 1, 2, 3, 4 after this push. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, sorry, 1, 2, 3, but I come here, I could come here, I'm in the square, okay, I in the square always, so it's a draw. Okay, second position, it's white to move, and this is so interesting problem. Here you have to draw, because if you play a normal move like this, you try to reach your pawn, black can simply capture, and you can't do nothing because black has this passed pawn, and black can't reach, can't gain the opposition. So for example, you play in this way, it's a completely winning for black, because here black has the opposition. Okay, here for example, you play something like this, and it's winning, because if white come here, you play king here, and it's black to have the opposition. Okay, so king b4, like king d5, and there is no way here for white to stop it. You can play something like this, but you push, sorry, not you place this again to have the position. Okay, and now you play king king b5. You can play here in this position to win, like king d3 to have the position, and you continue to play in this way. Okay, to promote your pawn. It's not an easy problem, but here you have to see that if you play this, here it's winning for black, because black can take this pawn, and it's not easy to find the best move here, because here you have to play d4, d6, and this is the only way to have the position, because here black has captured the pawn, because if you don't capture the pawn, white can simply take this pawn and will be a draw. Black has to capture, and after this capture, white will have the position. After king b3, black has no way. If black play king c6, I can play king c4, and now I play this, and I continue to draw. Okay, there is no way to win, and after, you have to know really well the rule of opposition. After king c5, you have to play something king c3. After king d5, you have to play king d3. You have to keep the position. If here black plays something like this, you have to keep the position again. So here you have to play this. Okay, because if you come back here, black win with king c4, because black here has opposition, and if you come here, it's the same, because black can come here, and black now has the opposition. So you have to keep the opposition. Okay, in this way. Like this. Okay, so if black plays this, you keep the position in this way. There is no way here to win. Black can push, but it's not a solution, because here you continue in this way. If black come here, you come here, and there is no way to win for black. Okay, you play this, and after king come here, you come here, and it's a draw. You keep the position every time. If black push, white can come here. There is not the necessity to calculate if you know this rule, the rule of opposition. So here you have to push simply because it's the only way to gain the opposition. Okay, so okay, this is a really beautiful problem. Here you have to find it's a black to move this time, and you have to find the way to win for black in this position. It's not easy, but here black has more space. White king is on c2, and here black can win, but he has to be careful. You have to do the right move, and you have to use another time the rule of opposition. For example, it's obvious you want to capture the white pawns and then promote your pawns. Okay, it's normal, but how can you do it? If you play simply king f3 to reach the b3 pawn, white here can draw with this move to keep the position, king d3. In this way, white keep the position. If king here follows, how can you keep the position in this way? Not king here, be careful, because follow king e4 and black gain the position, but you can play king d2, and now there is no way to win, because here follows king here. Okay, and it's a draw. It's a draw because here white has the opposition every time. Can you see? So you have to keep the position. So if king here, you play king f3, you play king d3, and it's a draw. If for example black comes here with a king f2, how can you keep the position? Not in this way this time, but this way, king d2. And there is no way for black to cross and take some pawns. So you continue to keep the position. So here, the only move, it's so beautiful. If you play something like king e4, king f4, it's losing because it's a draw. Sorry, because king d2 and black lose the position. Okay, so the only way to keep the position is king g2. Really beautiful moves, because here white will lose the position. If king here, and white loses the position. If king come here, king c3, black plays king f3, and white loses the position. And if you lose the position, you lose the game in the end game. Okay, remember. The only move that you can play in this position in king h2, because you lose the control of e4 and you are so slow, you are too slow, and white can reach faster black pawns. Okay, but here if you play king g2, it's completely winning, because if white play king d3, you play king f3, and now you win. You have the position. I will show you. So king has to come everything. For example, king come here, you come here, you have to keep the position. King come here, king come here, king come here, king e2 to have a position every time. If king come here, you play in this way. Okay, there is no way here for white to win. If king come here, how can you win this position? King c3, and this is winning move, because if king come on a2, you have this king c2, and here black has the opposition. King come here, you play king here, and white here has to push. It's in those one. Okay, white has to push, and black here can capture. It's simply winning. So really nice move, king g2, to win this position. Okay, you have this position. This time it's a move for white, and you have to find a way for winning. Seems easy, and yeah, there are several moves that are winning in this position, because you have two pawns, so it's easy. But if you don't know how to play this ending game, you can have a draw by this position, and would be really sad for white here to have a draw. So again, you have to avoid the rule you have to use the rule of opposition. You have to avoid the opposition of black. How can you do it? You can play simply in style f7, and if black capture, you play king f5, and now you have the opposition. After king e7, I explained you last time, king g6, and now if king come here, how can you keep the position? Simply king f6, and there is no way here to win. Okay, and if black here decline, yeah, the only way that you have not to do is play something like this, because here black can capture and black here has the opposition, and there is no way here for white to win, because black keeps the position. Okay, everything doesn't work here. It's not important if you push here, because black can play this, and you have no way to win. It's a draw. It's a draw. And if black here declines, for example king f8, you play something like this, and if black capture here, you play king f5, you gain the position and you win. If black continue to decline, what can play? You play simply this. You lost the time. If you play this, and it's a draw. So be careful, because here there is no way to win for white. So if black plays something like this, how can you win this position? Can you see? It's really nice. It's really nice. You have to promote to a queen or to a piece. It's not important, but to a queen check, black has to capture. Now you play king f6, because now you have the position and it's winning. Okay, so it's not important how many pawns you have in this type of finals, because now we are doing the rule of opposition. So you have to learn that you can sacrifice some pawns to gain the opposition, because it's really important thing. Okay, so here I sacrifice my pawn to gain the opposition, and if black decline, I continue to push my king. If black decline, I continue to push my king. For example, here I play king g5, and after king here, I play something like this, and black has to come here, and I will promote. Okay, and if black accept, finally I play simply king f5, and I will have the position. But if you, after king g7, you play something like this, it's a draw, because king can capture here. Okay, so okay, problem number 5, this is the last, and you have to use your pass pawn and to promote to a queen, and you have to use the rule of opposition again, and you have to play something like king b5, because king e5 or king b5 it's winning, because after king b8, white can have the opposition. King b6, okay, king c8, I push and I will take a queen. If black try to come here, it's not important. You have not to push because it's a draw. Be careful. You have to play simply king c7. King c7 is winning. Black can come here, and I play king d6. The king d7 I will promote. So it's not important. And if here black try to survive in this way, what can you do here? Simply, you play king a5. Really nice. And in this way, black has to come here, king a8 or king b8. King b8, you play king b6, and you have the position. If king come here, you play king. How can you keep the position here? You have not to play king b6, because here black has the position. Okay, so you have to play king a6, and now black move, and you will gain the position in this way, king b6. Or for example, you can play king b5. It's always winning, because if black come here, you play king b6, and now you promote. So remember the rule of opposition and the rules of the square. It's so important. and in this way you can find nice solution to win some endgame or to draw some endgame. It's so important, and you will have an advantage in this type of in this endgame, because endgames are so difficult, and everyone needs some principle to use. Okay, and so I hope this video enjoy you. Like always, I will continue in this way to show you some problem of this book of Bernd Rosen, and this is so important. It's really nice book. So we will see next time with some another problem, with another video, and remember to subscribe to my channel, and thank you really much for everything, and see you soon with another video. Bye bye. Thank you.